Alright, hi everyone. So today we'll be continuing on the sound bytes recorder again, and today I'll be working on the authentication part. The authentication bit I haven't really tried this before, especially with the next admin package. So this will be a more exploratory stream rather than anything else. But yeah, let's go ahead and let's start this off. So the package that I want to try out is called next admin next auth actually. So next auth is something I'll be looking into. This here is not the one, this is just an example. So this is the one I will be looking into. Yeah, so let me also pull up the code base and let's start. So we'll mostly be referring to the example and the documentation on the site, and then building it according to that. So last time, yeah, I think like everything has been committed, so we can reset it back. Now the way they recommend is okay, they recommend cloning the example application. I don't think we can do that. So is there something else? Let's look at the tutorial and how to restrict access, right? So this is what we want to do. I want to restrict access to the upload option, and then yeah, that is pretty much it for now. So we don't want to go besides that right now. So they have this client package, so that we used on the front end. This sort of pulls in the session, and if we don't have the session, we say access denied. Otherwise we just do what we want to do, right? And then there is a server side part to this as well, which I think we'll have to use is on the get server props. We call this method and pass the session as a prop, but then yeah, okay, we use it later on as a hook rather than as a prop, but I think we can pull it from the prop as well. And we also wrap our whole application with a provider, which takes in a session from the page. Securing API routes, I don't think we need that as of now, or JAW tokens as well. Okay, so let's start with this. So I think the package is called next auth, so let's install that. So I'll do npm I next auth. Let me also, oh, not that, let me also yeah, let's also start the okay, just a second. Yeah, let's start the node server for our bot as well in the background. So I'll do ts node npx ts node, pass it the TypeScript configuration in the listener. Okay, we do need to source our environment variable, so let's do that first. And yeah, so yeah, I think it has joined. So I have my chat open here, so let me try running bytes random meanwhile, just to validate everything is working as expected. Hey, I'm recording. Okay, cool. Although I just quickly need to fix my audio. Yeah, should be fine. Okay, so this package is installed, so we are good there. I want to go here to documentation and see like if there is a step-by-step thing that they recommend. It doesn't seem like that. We'll also review their example project. This actually links back to this. Okay, let's start from here. So this is the client side example, right? So if data is on the page is fetched using calls to secure API. Okay, so our data is being fetched through both, through client side and server side. So let's start with server side first. So if I open up our index package or the home page component basically, and I'll go to the very bottom where we have the get server side props, and what we basically need is we need this get session function where we pass in the context, right? So first thing first, we need context here, and let me pull in or rather import these functions from next auth. It's next auth / client, and then from here what we want is use session and also get session. It doesn't do any autocomplete, so I'm thinking like whether is it missing types. I think it's missing types, so let's pull those types in. So I'll do npm i -d types next /auth. So hopefully there are types already there on definitely typed for this. Yeah, apparently there aren't. Let's see. Next auth types. Or maybe just search for TypeScript. Okay, nothing comes up, so let's check on the repo itself. This is all JavaScript, so I don't think they have a d.ts file as well here. That's weird, like not having types. Okay. It seems there are no types. Yeah, not even on definitely typed. This is going to be a challenge. So yeah, I don't see any updates. Okay. Oh, okay. It seems something is there on definitely typed. I'm not sure if it's merged. It seems it's still there. So that is the only concern. Yeah, it's not merged yet. Okay. Yeah, it will get merged when it gets merged, so we are blocked basically. So I think what we can do instead is either just use a reference to those types, right? Because yeah, they don't even reference them here. So let me see what is the file available in the pull request. They have a bunch of files that they have committed, so this will be difficult to pull in manually. Alright, so can we git clone a PR? Clone PR. If we can, we could probably, you can git clone a branch you want to use with -b and a pull request, and for pull request okay, yeah, I think this might work out, but what do we pass in? Okay, so just this, right? So this would in turn, I'm not sure, but let's see. Yeah, it's not really clear. Yeah, there is this bit, so reference pull and PR number and head. But I just want to clone it, right? So let's see if we can just use this bit. What does it have? It just has types here. All the types are here. Okay. Yeah, this I'm not really sure about. Okay, so let's go ahead for now. I'm sure like it will sort of not let us move much further without the types, unless we just go ahead and say like this is any or any type, and that's it. Maybe let's do that for now. So we have already imported this. All imports in the import declaration are unused, so that's fine. Although like if it's this is the only error, it doesn't autocomplete. Okay, so up here in the server side props, the next thing that the user is doing is they're just calling right here actually get session. So let's do it here in the try catch. So session would be okay, await get session, and then we pass it the context, and so we take this session and pass it as props. So if we just go ahead with this and okay, so here we are using the use session hook. We don't need to pass any parameters to this, and we'll get a session and a loading state from it. Okay, so that is fine. Loading is declared but not used. Okay, so right here, maybe somewhere below or maybe on the top itself, so that's it's easily visible. We will return like a session, and then if session is there, then just print out the session. I think this should be fine, although Paratia doesn't seem to be working. So now it's throwing errors, right? Since the types not are found, types are not found. It wants me to declare a namespace, is it? Declare a module next auth client module. I don't think we can do it in this file. It has to be a d.ts, I think. invalid module name, argumentation. Yeah. Okay, let me try by disabling strict typing for a bit till we find types for this. Although like I think like it will still continue complaining, but let's see. Yeah. Okay, so how about, so we have next env. Can we do it here? I think like this is imported every time. Is it? Yeah, it is. So we could probably do it here. So declare module next auth next auth slash client, make it any. Yeah, expected. I am, let's take a look at our reference here. I'm not sure how to define this for modules. So if we take a look under node modules and types, so yeah, let's do Airtable, and then the d.ts file says that yeah, okay, so we declare under the global namespace, we declare a class called Airtable and so on. I think like we should also take a look at React, because it has a React DOM and so on, so it has nested things. So let's see, like, but yeah, React DOM is also like directly under a separate package, but still I don't see anything nested here. Probably I should check next, because from next we are importing a lot of things that are nested. So let me collapse this, go to the next package. Yeah, so next might have something. So okay, here we are defining module SAS and CS and so on, and classes we are seeing are like read only strings and so on, process and node.js. Okay, can we find something like next head or something like that? So let me see, do we have head here? Yeah, I think we have head here. So this is under dist. Under dist we have next server, and under that lib, and then so on. So we have the head file here. I think we want something similar. So head is a function that takes children and then so on, and then head is also a namespace. Okay, so let me go back here. So the way we are using this package is this actually gives us these methods. So we can say declare namespace next auth slash client. I'm not really sure like if it can even be like slash client, but let's see. So we'll put in like use session as any, and then also get session as any. Yeah, it's immediately complaining that identifier expected. This is the problem here. This is fine, and then if we do client being something like this. I think it's complaining now again. Unused label, so not global. I think we should. Yeah, it's still complaining about these being unused. I don't think we can export these. But let me take a look again here. Okay, so it's doing using var to define these. So let's try that. Okay, that did something, and although like the compiler is still working, so I'm not too sure. Let's go to the index file and see. Yeah, it is still complaining. So that didn't help a lot. It's suggesting that try installing this or declare a module. Okay, how about we try declaring a module then? But before that, let me start the application, see what error it throws. So there's a question in chat like ZR1011. I'm using TypeScript here. Yeah. Okay, the servers did start running without any issues, so that's nice. Although, yeah, there's a data issue, so I think this can be resolved by doing this. Also, like bytes map is not a function, is something that shouldn't come up. So let's see. Let me start this server first, and let me start a tmx session. So if I do npm run dev, and in another tmx session, let's pull up vim. So hopefully this has started. Okay, so this is working. I'm not sure how, but then it is working. And let's see what are the parameters that we get. So it's immediately throwing some error saying that it failed to fetch. Okay, so it's trying to access this endpoint eps/auth/session, and then that request is failing it. So if I try to refresh again, so I think like it did a request there immediately, and then yeah, here it is as well, and it's getting a timeout, so it's not able to get the session. Yeah, so now let's go back here. Yeah, so they expect us to start from the project itself, which is not something we have done, so we'll have to review this. Okay, so this is a example project, and the packages they are using is nextauth, and they are also using SQLite for some reason. So, but we'll see. In their environments, okay, they have all these values. They have nextauth URL, and they have a database URL. They have email server and email from as well. So, and then they have all these social auths. Okay, so that's fine. Now moving on. if I go to like components are fine, like I don't think we need to worry about that. So we have API here, so they have auth and they have this triple dot thingy. So here they have like they're using next auth and they're using next auth slash provider, and they have from provider they are sort of setting up all these different providers. So imagine we just use GitHub or Google for example. They're also having a database URL, database optional. Okay, that is good. This is optional. You must install an appropriate node module. Okay, that is why they have this SQLite installed. Secret is used to be reasonably long random string to sign cookies. Okay, so we'll use secret here. Okay, so this is for Jot, like if I want to enable them. We have pages, we have callbacks, we have debugging and so on, right? So this is the main authentication piece, and then we have something called example here, and within this we have session, and this is getting the session, it seems, and responding back as a string, and then also we have Jot. So I'm not sure like what exactly is required from all of this. So I recall like there is another guide which seemed to me like quite helpful, so we could also refer to that as well. So this is like add social authentication to Next.js. Right, so if we do I need to log in? Okay, I think I can log in. So yeah, I'm logged in now. Okay, so they again also want me to take a dump of their code base, so I am not really inclined to do that. So let me just visit this link and see like what is there. So do they have API endpoints as well? Is something I want to check. Okay, looks like they don't, which is good. So this is just like a boilerplate thing, so that should be fine. Okay, so next step, they want to create a GitHub auth app. So that is something we can figure out, and then configure the app to sort of call this endpoint. Put in the environment variable, the client ID, the client secret, which is fine. Then we install Next.auth, which we have already done. Then we have to create this file, which we saw earlier. I think I've closed it. No, this one. So API slash auth slash triple dot Next.auth. Okay. And then we sort of configure the GitHub provider. We also need to set up a Next.auth URL as well. And then to log in, we go to this URL. Okay. Okay, so on the client side we can first, this is to we don't have any information shown on the login state. Let's make it possible. Okay, so if you click on login, it goes to this page. They click on it, they log in, and it takes them back, I think, and yeah, they have their details. Okay, so they have the app component within the provider. The provider doesn't take any parameters here, and then in the header they are accessing the session. They have a sign in, they have a sign out, and then like in case there is a session, they sort of pull the details from that. I think like if this works for us, we don't need to do anything else. So let's try it out. So going back a few steps, so we need to create a GitHub authentication, or a GitHub OAuth application. So let me do that. So we'll call it bytes. For now it's just localhost Shall I change it? Localhost. What is the suggested? Yeah, this is the suggested callback URL. So this would be 000 009. It says it must be a valid login. Okay, so I'm not sure what is being used here. So let's quickly take a look. Yeah, he is using. Oh, okay. I think maybe I can just put in the. Oh, I'm missing a slash here actually. Yeah, I think it's fine now. So yeah, I think I have. Now that I've sort of exposed these values, I'll revalidate them in a bit. So let me move this to a different screen. So move it in workspace 3 here. So go there and also open a terminal there so that I can update the environment file. So let me go to bytes, open the environment file. So what are the environment variables? So first thing we want is GitHub client ID, and we also want client secret as well. Right, so let me revoke all user tokens. Okay. Okay, now all of a sudden, yeah, okay, it's working now. Good. Let me also reward this client secret and the user all user tokens. So I think it should be fine now. Okay, so I've put in the tokens here. I think we are good on that part. I think we needed one more thing, which is next URL. So let me update this while I'm here, and then I can just move it back to the main screen. It's called next auth URL, and then yeah, it's http://localhost 3000. Yeah, that should be it. You can get rid of this window altogether. Okay, so our file is populated. If I go to this session, I think we need to source our environments once more. Let me do that. Now run npm run dev and start working on the. So we want to work on this. Where is that? Okay, I thought like it was earlier, but it isn't. So okay, let's yeah, we want to build this API function, right? So under pages we want API, and then we want to create a file called within brackets /next auth.js, right? So this is something we want to create. Okay, it can't seem to create that file. Let me go into that directory and try there. So pages API, and let me touch come on, a file called next auth.js. It can't seem to do that. Yeah, okay. So the file is there. I hope it didn't append the slash. Okay, it didn't. So the file is here. In this file, what we want is we want to import next auth from next auth, and then import providers actually from next slash auth slash providers, and then we just define our providers. We'll just use one in this case, so that would be provider. For some reason I can't type today. It's called GitHub or GitLab, and then to this we pass the client ID. So this would be process.env GitHub client underscore ID, and then same thing here as well. So this would be secret, and this would be client secret, right? So yeah, again, like it's throwing those errors related to types, but okay, that should be fine for now. So we also define a empty object for callbacks. I'm not sure what this does is, but yeah, we'll come back to all of this after we configure this. So options would be providers and callbacks, right? And we do a export default for every request and response. We use next auth as a middleware, and we pass it the options, right? Okay, so this is fine. We have already updated our environments, so it suggests that we start the app again and visit this URL. Okay, so if I go to if I start the application again, do npm run dev, so it's suggesting going to this URL. So let me replace this 9 with a 0. Okay, so it says that cannot read property GitHub client ID of undefined. Okay, so that is something we can look into. Edit it. Yeah, should be env instead. So if I try running this again and refresh the page, okay, now it didn't do anything at all. So it's throwing a 404, which doesn't really help us. Let's see, do we get an error? Yeah, it doesn't open at all. Unexpected JSON input is what it's saying here. Okay, yeah, this is for the other page, which is fine. It should have worked, I guess. Let's see if in case we messed up something. So we're using next auth from next auth providers, and here we have a provider called GitHub client ID, client secret. These look fine. We have callbacks, we have options, and we are exporting this method. So this is all fine. What else is pending? Like, let's go to the previous page and see. Do we have everything? I don't think let me just quickly take a look at the GitHub page in case I missed something while configuring. So we created the Bytes app, and here I don't think there is much. Let's quickly go through the video in case I did miss something. Yeah, it doesn't seem like there is much to be done. Yeah, they just suggest using these values and that's all. Localhost 3000, localhost 3000. Yeah, these look fine. And the problem is that it's not really throwing any errors, so it's very difficult to tell. Okay, let's try one more time. Maybe that might help. But yeah, moving on. Yeah, like immediately they suggest that this would work. So from our end, there shouldn't be any additional steps, unless they have done any something specifically in their repo to start with. Okay, so I should check out the add social authentication branch actually. So that would be add social authentication, this one. So they have lib here. I'm not sure what is there. They have some functions here actually. But yeah, let's not worry about that. Let's just directly check. They don't have any API functions. Yeah, strange. Okay, if I go to slash API slash what was this URL? So this was this should be the current URL of your application, that domain. Okay, I think this is correct. Let me check if I have put in the correct next URL and all. So if I go to bytes and open up the environments, let me check this. Okay, so we have next author underscore URL. So did I do that? I'm not sure. So let me source this again in case I missed that. I think I had done it, but regardless, next auth URL localhost 3000. Yep. Start the app again, visit and follow through the UI. Okay, yeah, we don't get any UI here, so that is the problem. API auth slash sign in. API auth slash sign in. Yep, doesn't work. Okay, so I think like I'll just because we have tried everything here, let's go to the original documentation. I think like it's best we try that instead. So here in the original example, what they had is that providers they have more details besides this as well, right? Like under this is all wrapped inside options, so which is fine. Do they have anything in the callback as such? Here their callback is empty as well. Let me put a debug true. Debug would be true. Maybe this will help us identify what the issues are. The secret should be set reasonably long random string if it is used to sign cookies and all. Okay, I think like we can put in a secret as well, and let's make it very simple. Okay, so this is good enough. And then under session, yeah, I don't want to enable jot as of now, so this should be fine. That is the only configuration they have done, so I think let's try it again. I'm not sure if it makes any difference at all, but let's see. Da, da, da. So yeah, this is fine. Like, we are not configuring it right now. The next thing I wanted to check was, like, how do, like, what URL do they redirect the client to log in? There is no login button here. I think, like, it might be in the layout itself, and layout might have a header. Yep. So does header have a sign in, right? So they have a sign in here. Yeah, it redirects them to /sign in. So this is the URL we should be checking, /sign in. Yeah, doesn't really help. I'm not sure what the issues. Localhost page cannot be found. Not really sure what I'm missing, but okay. So going back here, these I think it's probably an issue with the API function that we have created rather than anything else, because that is what is not really sort of redirecting us back to the page. Yeah, this is the method, right? Like, this is the function. This is all the same that we had. So right here, we are pulling in the providers using the Github provider callbacks and all of that. Yep. All the requests to these URLs, sign in, callback, and sign out, will automatically be handled by Nextauth. Okay. Yeah. Is the endpoint correctly configured? Pages API auth. Oh, okay. I see what I've done. Okay, my bad. So I have to create a auth directory first and then move it there. That was okay. Hopefully this, I guess this must have been the problem all this along. But yeah, let's see. Okay, so the server has started again. Let's no. Oh no, it did work. Okay, nice. So we get an option to sign in with GitHub. Yeah, I think this is fine. This will redirect me back. Okay, I get some details. Okay, this is the debug details. Okay, because I'm logged in as my user, so I can see all these details. Okay, can I do okay, won't work. Okay, so it says like object is not valid. React child found object with keys user. Okay, so this is from index line 30. Are we using this somewhere? Okay, I think we are using session to print something, right? Like, we were rendering session somewhere. Yeah, session is being rendered on line 17, or rather 17 lines above. So I could probably pull in from this. this is profile data. How about I just convert it into a string, right? You can do JSON stringify session null2. This should be fine, and then wrap this in a pre tag as well. So if I refresh the page, yeah, okay. Did I mess up something? That doesn't make sense. This should work. Oh, okay, no, this wouldn't work. You need to wrap this thing in parens. Okay, bytes is failing again. Now this is indentation. Okay. Let's just do this. Let me just do JSON.stringify session. Okay, this should work. Yep. So we have a user there, and then all these details, right? So we can probably just do session dot user dot name. Yes, so this is fine. I want to see how it's storing it. So I don't think it would be okay. Nice, it is storing cookies. However, if I close this and if I reopen this, I'm not really sure. Yeah, I think session would be empty in this case. So let's print out session as a JSON string now. Okay, that's weird. Why was it not able to print this then? Let's try again. So I think it will throw an error once more, saying that cannot read property user of undefined, right? So it's not able to get the user at this moment. We don't have any session storage, and do we have cookies? We do have cookies. So I think if I refresh, I think it might come up. It doesn't, which is awkward. Okay, now see. Yeah. Okay, let's delete it altogether. It doesn't put in the correct JSX comments. Yeah, this is fine. I'm not sure why it doesn't show up consistently, but this does. How come the other thing doesn't? So the other thing was session.username, right? So okay, let me try this out. So take this URL. Yeah, it does show up fine. Okay, we'll figure out why it doesn't, but let me meanwhile also check, like, what if I close the server and start it again, right? What happens in that case? Like, do the cookies still work? Like, I think they should. These are GitHub cookies, not like our server cookies, so they should, I think. Yeah, they do work. The user is logged in, which is good. So I'm not sure, like, okay, here it is. It says that it's 6 today. It's 6 today. So how come? Oh, this is for a month actually. Yeah, so these are valid for a month, so that is good. So I think like let's not worry about this right now. Let's just add the hooks to sign in and sign out, and that should be it. Okay, and yeah, there was this check, right? So I am not sure, but then let's see. Because we are calling this use session, right? So maybe the values that we get from the backend, I'm not really sure like if they are used immediately by the front end. So like I think like by calling this use session, we validate those, and then that is why we have this loading state as well, right? So once we validate those, we have a logged in user, right? So that is why we also have this loading state, right? So if you do like loading, so if it's loading, then we'll say like loading your session, and otherwise I can just do session dot user dot name. Something is not right. Session dot user dot name, expected a comma. Okay, why is prettier not working? Okay, the same TypeScript thing. Okay, so how about we try this? So is the server okay? The server is down. So refreshing the page. Suddenly everything is slow to start, but okay. Yeah, you see like this time it didn't throw error because we had that loading state, although like it wasn't evident on the front end, or was it? Let me slow down the network and then see. Yeah, loading your session and then this shows up. Okay, so that's good. That is also figured out. Now the next thing would be to add a login and logout interface. Right, so the way they suggest is, let me go here. So in case there's no session, we can't show it, right? So you want to show a login button. Yeah, I think like this is just loading, right? So loading, do we need this state? I don't think we need this state at all. We can just probably do, if yeah, we can do the same thing that they have done. If there's no session, in that case just show the login button, right? So button on click, sign in, right? So why? Okay, we don't have the sign in method defined. We actually don't need to wrap it in fragments because we'll just have a single element here, so it should be fine. And let me go up here and define this method. Let's call it const sign in. It's all it does is have they not? Oh, okay, yeah, we actually don't need to define it. It does come from the authentication package. So it's called sign in, and then we also need, is it sign out or log out? It's called sign it's in with a capital I. So right here we'll update this to sign in, and then make this a single line. Okay, let me quickly look at this, like if we can get this working. I'm not sure why this is not working here. Like TypeScript ES6 is fine. So let's see, COC them TypeScript TS6 formatting. I think it should be working like with TypeScript.ts6, but for some reason it doesn't. Yeah, not a lot of results as well. So let's check their repo directly for issue queues. Do they have anything here? Yeah, nothing here. Nothing related to formatting at least. So quickly checking here. TS6. Yeah. It is called TypeScript.tsx, right? So I'm not sure what to reference this with. Cannot get working on. Okay. Yeah, this doesn't help. Okay. This is the TS server package. I think this is the one we are using. Am I using? Hold on. Quickly checking my completion file. Do we have prettier here somewhere? Yeah, we have prettier. So we should check COC prettier in that case. And here we should check the COC config, and yeah, these are COC preference format files on file types, save file types. Okay, I'm not sure like how this is configured, like to run which format, but okay, no, this is the one that it adds. So let me search for TSX here. I'm not sure if they support or it. I think it does support it. I'm not sure why it's not picking up. Prettier isn't formatting. Prettier is not run when saving files. Yeah, this is the one we want, right? So let's see. Okay, I think like it's. So after checking it, I found this issue which seems related to mine. Indeed, swapping to TypeScript React and putting inside. Okay. However, as the last comment says, it breaks the syntax highlighting. In order to apply both TypeScript, okay, you don't need to change the file types, and COC will convert it. Okay, so it suggests that like mapping these files to something else, and then that should be it. Oh, okay, I understand. Maybe the readme. I'm not sure if they have updated the readme, but okay. So so we have to now look at this thing. This is more work for us. Or how about I just do it on my own time and get done with the authentication. But for now I can just run it manually when needed. So we were working on the sign in sign out bit. I think like we have it. Have we done the sign out as well? No, this is just sign in, right? So the other would be sign out. So if there is session, then just show a sign out button. Yeah, I think that should be it. And yeah, and so it says like to add to all pages to allow sessions to be shared between multiple pages, which improves the performance and all. Like you can just use the provider. My only concern here is that I'm not really using multiple pages right now, so we can skip this. Okay, so now let's check, restart our server and check again. Yeah, this is the page we want to look at. Okay, so it shouldn't show this detail, it should just show the sign out button, right? So this is cool. If I now go to application, under session storage, do we have anything? No, we don't. What about local storage? We have something here, but yeah, let's sign out. So it removed some cookies here and added some back. Yeah, it has sign in now, so that's fine. And if I click on sign in, it says like sign in with GitHub. Okay, yeah, okay, cool. So this is all good. The next step would be to show the user details a little bit. So as we saw earlier, like we can now, it makes sense to wrap it in a fragment while we are showing these details, right? Actually in this one, the sign out one, because only then we'll have the user details at that moment. So here what we want to show is you can probably show the image and also show the name. So this would be session.user.name. Expected corresponding JSX. Okay, what did I mess up? So this is here, all of this is here, and then we have the, okay, the span I didn't close, so that is fine. Okay, now I don't recall what the response was, but maybe it logs the user somewhere here. Does it? Avatar underscore URL, maybe it's under the user as well, so let's try that out. So this would be session user dot avatar underscore URL. I don't think so. Yeah, it doesn't work. What we do is we log the whole session object once more, and then see like what are the available properties. Yeah, so we have image actually, so we can replace this with session.user dot image. It should have shown a broken image, so I'm not sure why it didn't. Okay, do we have a smaller image? I don't think so. Yeah, let's not worry about that too much here. Let's just make it smaller here. I'll say like height of 50. Height takes in the type is not assignable to CSS properties. Height, oh, not really height. Okay, so this is fine. We get rid of the JSON bit. Add a border radius of 50%, and we are good. Right, like this is obviously like looking terrible, but then it does its job. Okay, now so we have all of this. The next thing that is that is what we want to do is how about we first of all yeah, let's do that. Let's create a header.tsx, right? Open this and then also open a reference. Okay, there's not really a lot required for reference. Okay, so I can just do, we don't even need to import React. This is nice. With Next, like, we can skip that bit as well. We take in a header component, right? I'll sort of copy all the markup from here. Yeah, we need all of this actually. How about we move the head? Okay, head should actually remain on the page. It makes sense to keep it there. Yank it over and then paste it here. We will take in as a prop the session, right? So yeah, I think that is it. Delete this, use the header. So we imported the header and then we pass it the session as session. So let's close this one out and then fix this. So we can probably now do a if else. So if not session, right? Just return this bit, delete the surrounding parents, and do yeah, we don't even need this condition. We just do a return here, and otherwise this will be an else. Delete this bit, delete this bit as well, add a closing thing in and return this. And then okay, yeah, we need the method. So let me go back to index, grab them from here, go back to previous file which was bytes, no, not bytes, what is it called, headers, right? So paste this over. We don't need use session and get session, so I'll delete those. And then also let me run coc. This is too much work just to format a file, but okay, so this is working, right? So if I now go to index, we don't need these two. Now the other thing that I'm interested in is all these errors that we are getting, just to check like if we can do anything about them. Yeah, it seems fine, it's gone. Okay, now the other thing that we have is to hide this. So we have a player, we actually want to hide the recorder, that is it, right? So we want to hide the recorder, the player, the upload button, right? So all of this depends on session, right? So first we show the recorder. Once we have recorded, we show the player, and once we input the values within upload, I think the input is within upload, right? Yeah, it's there. So So all of this can be wrapped in a parent and then say like only if there is session just render these things. I think it will throw an error that these need to be wrapped in a fragment or a div or something, so I will do that. Let me run the coc command again. Yep. So now if I sign out, right, okay, I am still seeing this, which is weird. Why go ahead and install it, man. Okay, so why are we still seeing these things? Oh, these are the bytes. Okay, actually, yeah, this is fine. So in case I sign in with GitHub. Yep, this looks fine. So then I get a record option, right? Otherwise I don't. Now I think the last important piece that we have for this is basically to send this detail to Airtable as well, right? So this all of this happens in the, I think, the upload function or upload component rather, and this does the fetch request, right, to the API endpoint, and here we want to sort of plug in our user details, right? So that can be a user. No, I don't think we want to store too many user details. Am I right? Because like we don't want to sort of like for now I don't want to add like options to, you can either delete or do all of that, although like it would be a good feature to add. Okay, so let's do that. Let's just add the user name for now, or I think user email should be better, right? Names you can't really rely upon, so let's use the email. So in our sound bytes table, or either we could have like a separate table, but yeah, I don't think that makes sense for such a small application to like sort of do a like emulate joins on using Airtables. We might come back to that, but like we don't have such a need right now. So let's pass the session to the upload function, which is in index. So to upload, we'll also have another parameter called I don't think we even need session. Let me actually print it out once more. So we'll do it here. We'll do JSON.stringify session. Let's try this out, like just to see like what parameters that we get. So if I sign in, yeah, so we get the user and the expires we are not really interested in. Name, email, and image. So name I'm not sure like what the value it brings in, and also the image is not really important either, although that said, like it would be nice to show those details here. And on Airtable I don't think we can store like a JSON like object, or I think we can and then sort of parse it out. Yeah, do a long text and then parse it. I'm just wondering, should we do that? We can just store a user and then pass in the whole object. Okay, let's do that. That way we are not limiting ourselves to redo this later on. Okay, so To the user, I'm passing in the session, so I'll call it like user and then session.user, right? So this is my user object. I'll go to upload. And what just happened here? Okay, so so now this will also take a property called user, which will be of user type, right? So we'll define the user here. Export type user. This will have a name which is a string, email which is a string as well, and an image which is again a string, right? So this will come up right here, right? So this would be image, user, right? So what is the issue? Okay, we are defining a type, not an interface, so it should have a equal to sign as well. Okay, now when I'm sending this to the API function, the upload function, I have to just do this user, and then you don't even need to do this multiple times. I think like that is pretty much it. No additional work required. Now let's go to the upload function. So this takes in where do we parse it? Okay, we get a user from it, right? And now this user is declared but never. Okay, so this user, we are storing this here, right? So this would be user, and then this will be json.stringify user, because we are already receiving a parsed user here. So we again stringify it. Now let me create that sort of field and rename this to user, and the type is customize field type, right? So it should be long text for now, no rich editing. Now this is all good. Now the other I think this should be fine. Let's see. Let me restart my server because we have updated a few things. Hopefully this works. So if I refresh the application, why? Okay, here's the recorder. Hello, hi. Okay, so this we will upload. It's uploading. We get auth here. So this auth is actually coming from Airtable. So if we look at it, okay, nice. We have the user here as well, right? So we have all the details. Obviously, the problem here would be that we are storing a lot of redundant data multiple times. But then I think I don't think we are reaching a scale where with this recorder that you need to worry too much about it. This should be fine. So we are storing the user details, right? So that also means that for I think we are doing fetch all, right? So within fetch all is actually fine. So this is the bytes. No, not even here. I think it would be within the fetch component, or rather the fetch API function, where we need to pull the user. This would be our user, and we'll call it user like this. Let me bring in tsignore for this line as well. Okay, so this fetch all is being used by fetch. Who who is using fetch all, right? So it's being used by listener. So listener actually doesn't need this, but it's also, I think it was also used by okay, so this is directly used by our index or the home page component right at the very bottom, right? So if I log all the data that I'm getting here, just to quickly check, so this is what we are getting. And why is okay, this is the file name actually. Shouldn't it be in the descending order? Let's refresh and then check. There are 3 requests, I don't know why. It should actually be just 2. Actually it's 4 now. But yeah, we have a user object, and then this is, let's see, paste. No, this doesn't help. What is this called? It's not called anything, so we'll do temp 10 dot user. Can I do dot name, or is it a string? Okay, so this data is then passed to bytes, which is fine. Let's go to the bytes component. Go to bytes. A byte now has a user as well, and it's a string. So although we need to parse it out, so this will become difficult. We are mapping over it, right? So here we can print out p byte dot user. This will clearly not be suitable for printing, but let's see. Yep, and we can't really do name on it, so that is another problem, right? Okay, so what we have to do is we have to do like json dot parse, which is, this is not really the right place for doing this, but let's do it temporarily to see if everything works. It doesn't seem like it's working though. Yeah, okay, let me get rid of this. Okay, it's back to how it was. So we are passing it from, let's see, we get it from here, and since this is a string, like we can't do much in that case, can we? Because like while we are sort of sending it from the API function, it has to be converted into a string, but as soon as we get it, I think we can convert it. Okay, so we could probably do it here itself. So imagine like we have all the data here, so we'll do data dot map, and we'll get each byte from it, and from each byte we want to select the bytes user should be equal to json dot parse byte user. This actually can be just a dot here, and then After we have converted it to byte, we just return the b, the updated b, and then we store it as bytes, right? It is throwing some warnings here, asking what is the type. You can be implicit saying that, or other explicit saying that it's a byte array, and then it seems to still be throwing errors. Why is that? Data, it's not sure. Data is also a bytes array, but they're not really matching the. Okay, let me first of all fix this and let's try it out. Bytes. I don't want to. Okay, let's call it u data initially, and then or not even that. Let's make it a let, and then just update data here, and then continue using it. So if I refresh my page here, this is not giving me anything now. Something has been broken. Can we do a console log here? Console log for data that we'll be passing, and let's check the logs. It says like, okay, I see what it is. Yeah, so this has to be in a condition like if b.user only, then do it. Like otherwise it doesn't make sense to call it on something that doesn't even exist. But yeah, still not too sure. If I refresh, yeah, we do get back the data. Now if we look at, okay, I don't have React installed. What is the message that we are not seeing? What is this one hidden message? Select. No. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I should install that React developer tools. Where is the extensions? Come on. So React. Really? So okay, so this will help us look into the state easily rather than me sort of doing console logs here and there. Although I'm not really sure like if it would work with Next as well. I think it should. Yeah, it does. So our home page is getting all of this data, right? So the first one doesn't have a user. Okay, let's check the last one. This is how is it going, right? So how is it going should be at the end. Okay, the first one should be auth based on that data, and then it's called auth. Yeah, we have the user here. It wasn't looking at it. Yeah, and it's parsed now, I think. So now with this change, what I can do is go up here. Okay, I don't have the correct window selected. Okay, so I can first of all get rid of this JSON string if I then go back to our bytes, right? And then here we can print out. We can do p tag and then do a img src do a byte dot user dot image, also like put in a style on it. 25. What is it complaining about? Did I not add? Why is you? Oh, okay. Yeah, user is not really a string. I think we defined those types somewhere. Where did we do that? Did we do it here? No. Or did we not define it at all? Okay, I think we didn't define it. Name email, I think we defined that, right? So let's search. I remember doing something somewhere. Yeah, in upload we have this. No. Upload.tsx, it says there's an email string thing going on. Okay, here it is. Yeah, we can just import it. So going into bytes. No autocomplete. No autocomplete apparently. Okay, that's fine. I can say import user from, it's called upload, and then why is this complaining now? Okay, something might be messed up here. Yeah, it's missing the closing p tag. Okay, this is our image, so it should be fine now. Cannot read. Okay, so we have to do a byte.user, only then print this out. Yep, you see like the image is showing up for the user where we uploaded it correctly. Let me also put in a name, so I will say byte.user.name. I think it should be fine without the, yep. Let me do update here. Okay, yeah. So I think we are at a point where we have addressed everything, right? Now the next thing would be to add authorization. So the way authorization would work is, like, I'm thinking from a very primitive way, like thinking of a very primitive way of doing it is like just adding a column here, calling it admin, right, and it would be a checkbox, right? So with this checkbox, which would be a boolean field, right? So any or okay, just to like give it a slightly more thought. Yeah, I think like admin wouldn't work because yeah, I think like now I realize that we should have a user table, right? Because only then we can do admin. Although I'm also thinking that like maybe why not just have like upload, right? and then the user, like, we certainly do need approved, so that we can make sure that certain sounds are approved or not, right? Like, that is something we require before we show them on the screen. So imagine like none of these are approved, we don't show anything here. But that said, what we also need is like who approves them, right? So I think for now it can be just me and then be done with that. Like, that makes things simpler. And then later on, you can just move these users to a user table, and yeah, that should be it. So there's no authentication, like, as like authentication actually we have done. Like, authorization, I think, like, is more than authorization. That's just approval on sounds. So that's okay. I think like that should be fine. So we are already like 1 hour 40 minutes in. So I think like we can wrap up here. Let's go to our readme. So I'll rename this to approval, right? And then fix missing, fix type errors and warnings, because I think like we have introduced a bunch of them with this change that we did. But yeah, we did end up fixing authentication or adding authentication, right? Also, like, the UI doesn't look really nice, so I think that is something I also want to work on. So I'll put it up higher on the list, right? So maybe after this. And what else? I think like yeah, we also want to deploy the application. That is the first thing we should do in our next stream, right? So even though the bot that we are running isn't something that would the bot we are running, right, like it isn't something runs on a server, although it should, but yeah, it wouldn't run on next server as of now. But then I think like the front end of the application, where we do all the logic of recording and storing and uploading, all of that should be up somewhere, so that like it doesn't really depend on the stream as such. Like, bot is always required during the streams, but this should always be there. So with that, I think like we'll deploy it in the next stream, add the approval, and then fix the types. So these 3 items we can target in the next stream, hopefully. And with that, I think like we are done. Let me just commit this, all of this. So let's review the diff once. So this looks fine. What was this change? This also seems alright. User, this is the audio on the upload file. This is the upload file. Yeah, this bit is, I'm pretty sure, not doing anything, but yeah, we will fix that. Let me do a git diff without package.json, package log.json actually. Okay, we put in the user, we stringify it, we parse it, like a lot of work we are doing, but yeah, that is how it should be. This is all fine. I think like the formatting is something I need to fix on my end. Yeah, this is the index file, so this also looks fine to me. Yeah, that is pretty much it, right? So let's commit this, saying add authentication. One interesting thing would be to like look into the database, in case we can use a database, but that would be sort of redundant considering we are using Airtable. So Yeah, that would add more complexity right now. Okay, so this is committed. If we go back here, yeah, the latest changes are up here. Okay, so thank you folks. Please do reach out in case you want to contribute or you want to sort of ask any questions, so either on Twitch chat or on YouTube or on Twitter as well. So thank you. Bye bye.